Hello everyone and welcome to this SpottoCash judging session where a cash winner will be announced from the famous old game of Spot the Ball that we have updated, modernised and revolutionised to be our SpottoCash online version. We have 3 judges right here who are going to be deciding who will be winning £10,000 today. Let's meet them. Mr. Alasdair King.
I'm Alasdair King. It's my 14th season as a senior county football referee in London.
Great stuff. Mr. John Ratcliffe.
John Ratcliffe, 42 years experience, level 5, London FA.
Great. And Mr. Gary Hopkins.
Gary Hopkins, refereeing since 2005, London referee, level 7.
Great stuff, guys. Thanks for being with us again today. Everyone at home, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to last week's winner. That was Mr. Stephen Doyle. He won £10,000. Congratulations to Stephen. Let's see if you at home are going to be the one to win the £10,000 this week. We also have £50 going to 10 runners-up as well. So, lots of prizes today. Let's get stuck into this week's judging, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, everyone at home, our judges will now take a look at this week's image and begin their judging process by themselves individually, looking at this image that you've been playing all week and deciding where the centre of the ball should be. Each of them will do this individually now, and then all 3 of their spots will transfer onto John's screen in the middle at the end, and they'll all have an equally weighted debate and discussion to decide that final spot. But for this first round, we're going to leave them to it, so let's do that. Okay, John and Gary just finished up, and Alasdair, you all finished up there as well. Good stuff, guys. You're all happy with your placement of your first spots. John, you seemed like you'd sat back quite early on there. You felt like you had something down. What was your initial reaction to this image?
I think the big question here is, has the ball been headed? And I think that will determine where perhaps we place the spot. So my opinion is that the blue player has headed the ball, but I'll be interested to see what my colleagues think.
Okay, Gary, you again, I saw you come back and then sort of went back in again. You were just having that last tweaks, last thoughts. What was going through your mind when you were analysing this?
I always like to obviously agree with John, so in this case, I don't actually. I don't think actually the player has headed the ball, and the reason I say that is one of the points that John's always made is that when players head the ball, they do have this tendency to immediately close their eyes. At the moment, this player seems to still have his eyes firmly on the ball. So I don't think it's actually arrived as yet. Okay, and Ali?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm gonna agree with Gary on this one. I think for exactly the reason he said there, it is a good point you raised. Has he headed it or hasn't he? I don't think it has quite arrived yet. I don't think he's grimaced. I think he's just sort of stretching. Maybe that ball's a little bit behind where he would ideally like to be, the blue-shirted player, and it's just not long away from impact.
Certainly going to be interesting to see where you guys have all gone. Everyone at home, we're now going to have our 3 judges lock in these first placements on their screens, and all 3 of them will transfer onto John's in the middle, but all of them will have that equally weighted discussion, deliberation and decision as to where the final ball will be. So, John, let me know when these guys have locked in and when they come onto your screen.
Yes, okay, we'll continue judging.
And click through.
Okay, gentlemen, well, my goodness me, we are very close together despite we think that different things have happened. I'll start this week as we're very close, Gary, aren't we, at the end of the day? Now,
yes.
The reason why I said 2 pieces of evidence on the photograph for me that the player has headed the ball. First of all, look at the frown on the forehead. Now, I noticed at the weekend when watching some games, I looked closely when the centre-half had headed the ball, the frown was there after he'd headed the ball. So that's why I think that there is contact being made. Look at that there. To me, that's a ball being headed. Look at the shirt. The air is up inside the shirt, which indicates that maybe the top of the jumper's been reached and now he's just started to come down. This player hasn't made the ball, in my opinion. But that's the reason why I thought and have gone for that position, as it were, looking at this eye line, coming across, the ball's been headed, boom. let's go to you first, to Ali, to come in there with your. You've gone slightly higher.
Yeah, I've gone slightly higher. I mean, the clear thing here is that the ball's, whether it's been hit or not yet, it's not far away from the blue player's head. And maybe I've gone a little bit higher than you and Gary, but it's small amount of information. Look at the blue shirted player's extended left arm there.
Yes.
That shows you that he is at the peak of his jump,
Yes.
and it's just that microsecond away from whether it's about to hit or he has hit. I take your point about the frown, but players also frown before they head the ball, and if there was the frown and the eyes shut, then I would definitely have said that.
And the creasing in the shirt.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on that one. But I mean, he's obviously stretched, so you know that because he's got his right hand way up in the air. He's not in the ideal position to make this jump to make contact with the ball. So he's stretching himself to make contact with the ball. I agree with you. The black shirted player there, he's just trying to maybe give him a little nudge to push him away, if anything, to try and help him not make proper contact.
And Ali, I think if I agree with you there that he hasn't headed the ball, then I'd have been in that sort of area as well.
Okay.
So it's a question of whether, and Gary's going to be very important now, your opinions, Gary, of what's gone on here.
Well, I think you could be right, but I think also you could be wrong. I don't think there's any certainty that the ball has arrived or not arrived. I think it can be seen either way. What is certain is that either way, it has only just happened. So either the ball is just about to arrive, or it's only just arrived, because the player is clearly right at the apex of his jump. He's right at the top of that point, and that he's not fallen back into the player behind him as yet. He's got his arm extended there, and so therefore that's why I think it is that close.
Yeah.
What do we think about the eye line of the black shirted player? Because I leaned on that quite heavily, I will say. His iris is at the top of his socket, and that is partly the reason why I've gone a little bit higher. And I did spend a lot of time thinking that his may be the most accurate eye line for the purposes of where it is.
That's very important. If we're going to take that as the number one clue, then we would go a little bit higher perhaps. This chap is looking up into that general direction, so he's not going to tell us about the height. All we can go with the height is, has he just headed it or is he still to head it? So therefore we go to the black and white player, we look at his iris, and yes, it is at the top of the socket when you look closer there. So it could be that you are right there, Ali, that we are a little bit higher. This spectator here gives us a bit of a clue, because he is looking with that head, can't see the eyes, but he's looking up here, isn't he? Yeah. He's looking towards the general area. So I think we're right. This player is not going to make the ball. Look at that expression. Oh, I'm just about to miss it. So the mouth's coming a bit open there. But I'm a little worried that's why I thought, there's a lot of air in that shirt there. He's certainly very, very close to the top of his jump here, if it hasn't arrived, or it may just have arrived. But having said that, if he has headed it, looking at that, it could be a little bit higher.
Yeah, get it?
Yeah. So, gentlemen, in that case, I'm going to say, Ali, well done. I'm going to go a little bit closer to you. A little bit further over.
Yeah.
How about that? No, still not quite far enough over. Now, how about that? We've gone much closer to Ali. We're between us two in terms of the position on the vertical, on the horizontal. Are we happy with that, gentlemen?
I'm happy with that if we're saying that the black shirted player is the most important eye line.
Yeah.
If we're accepting that.
I think it is. I think this player is in the general vicinity. He's not giving us the exact position, whereas this player, who is not going to make it, and that expression, I think we've got to look at him carefully. So in view of that, I think we're a little bit higher than what we've got.
Okay, I'll accept that argument, yes.
Yeah. Are we happy with that position, gentlemen?
No.
From the evidence, we believe that is where the ball is.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Right-o.
Right, gents. Sounds like you guys have come to a decision there, and your deliberations seem to go very nicely. So, John, please lock in that pixel.
So then, this week for the £10,000, the pixels this week are X1259, Y574.
1259 and
574.
Fantastic. Okay, everyone at home, prepare yourself. £10,000 is coming to someone very, very soon. John, lock it in.
So the £10,000 is going to Alan Rowe. Alan Rowe of the United Kingdom.
Alan Rowe of the United Kingdom, congratulations, you have just won £10,000. Very good, and the pixel, John?
X1260Y574.
Great stuff, 1260Y574. So wait, right, correct on one?
Correct on one and slightly out on
Slight-
one.
One pixel
Wow,
out, yeah.
very good. So it must have been a real packed field there. Guys, thanks again very much for that. Everyone at home, there are also 10 runners-up who've won £50 in addition to Alan Rowe, who won the 10 grand. Here are our runners-up. Here you are. There you go, £50 cash for all of you. Well done. And just to let you know that next week we do not have a SpottoCash competition because we're going to take a short break for 8 weeks, and we will come back with some very exciting changes to the site and to the prizes as well. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to Facebook and Twitter for all the updates on the SpottoCash news. Guys, we're going to be seeing you in a couple of months. Go enjoy a nice little Malaga break, or we're going to go to Miami with the West Ham lot and cheer them up. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Brilliant work as always, and we'll see you soon. Everyone at home, we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.